Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are trying our best to learn Vaishnav etiquettes, Vaishnav Sadachar, only so that we can advance in devotional service. When Lord Shiva is speaking to his consort, Parvati Devi, so at that time, he is making a very, very important point. He says, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. So Lord Shiva is saying that out of all the worships, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnur aradhanam param, the topmost worship is worshipping Vishnu. Tasmat, more than that also, Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadyanam Samarchanam, worshipping those entities who are directly related with the Lord. That is even much better. So we talk about worshipping or respecting Vaishnavas in this context. And also at the same time, we have to understand all those different paraphernalia which are connected to the Lord, all that also are very sacred and has to be respected and handled with care. So how do we handle that? Is a very, very important subject matter. So let's try to discuss how to handle the tadiya or the paraphernalia of the Lord. Now when we go to temple, many times we get prasad, from the altar in the form of various different paraphernalia. Like for example, when the flowers are offered to the Lord, so those offered flowers are given to us as prasad. Now, sometimes flower garlands are given. So, what to do with that? So, devotees wear the flower garland, they smell it, they touch it to their head. Now, when Tulsi garland is given, what to do? When Tulsi garland is given, so at that time we can touch the Tulsi garland to the head, we can smell it, but we are not supposed to wear it. Because Tulsi is worn only by Shaktiman and not Shakti. Therefore, we'll see that always Tulsi is offered to Purusha or Vishnumurti, but not to Prakriti. And we all belong to the class of Prakriti. So we don't wear a Tulsi garland. That's the first thing. Now also when the flowers are offered to the Lord during the Aarti and the flowers come to us, so with awe and reverence, we smell those flowers saying, Jai Mahaprasad. That is the mood. But now when the flowers are given to us, garlands are given to us, what to do after smelling, after touching to the head? We cannot keep it in some unclean place. We cannot just leave it somewhere and go. It has to be properly disposed in some flowing river or some water body or something like that. Nowadays, devotees have that compost thing where they bury these different flowers offered to the Lord, and the compost is used for various plants. So basically, all these different flowers which are offered to the Lord, when we get as prasad, we have to treat them non-different from that of the Lord. They are prasad. Prasad means mercy of the Lord. How can we mistreat them? Therefore, it should be handled with care. First thing. Second, when we go to temple, so at that time we get Charanamrit. A very nice statement from Hari Bhakti Vilas. I would like to read it as it is. Drinking the bath water of Vishnu. So bath water means what? Charanamrita. So drinking Charanamrita of Vishnu is powerful enough to destroy the effects of 1 million sins. And what sort of sins? Sins of killing other living entities. So 1 million sins are destroyed. But a person who lets even one drop of this Charanamrita fall on the ground must suffer 8 million such sinful effects. So we should be very, very careful. Therefore, when we receive Charanamrit, how do we receive? We receive like this. right hand, and below that left hand, so that not even a drop falls. And then we honor Charanamrita. A very nice shloka, how to honor Charanamrita. And this very beautiful prayer. Shri Radha Krishna Padodakam Prema Bhakti Dammuda Bhakti Bhavena Vaipitva Shirasa Dharyamamaham. So here it is said that Shri Radha Krishna Padodakam Prema Bhakti Dammuda. This Charanamrit, when we drink, it bestows Prema Bhakti. It bestows us loving devotional service towards the Lordship Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Bhakti Bhavena Vaipitva. So when we drink with Bhakti Bhava, with great joy, and along with that, what do? Shirasa Dharayami Aham. And also, I hold it on my head. Therefore, you might see that devotees drink and then put it on the head also. So we hold that Charanamrita on the head, because we hold something on the head which is very, very precious, very, very valuable, and this is very valuable. So this is how we receive Charanamrita, and we don't allow it to fall down. That's the point. Now, what are the other things that we get as prasad? When the ghee lamp is offered to the Lord, then the ghee lamp comes. So a devotee goes and takes the prasad that is ghee lamp, the 5-wick or 1-wick ghee lamp. So in ISKCON, the Varishta Vaishnav is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our founder Acharya. So that prasad first goes to Prabhupada. That ghee lamp goes to Prabhupada first. And it is offered to Prabhupada first. The prasad is offered to Prabhupada first. And the devotee is offering prasad. After offering it to Prabhupada, then when he takes it to devotees, he has to give it to the devotees, at least the first few devotees who are seniors in that assembly, senior devotees. First it should be given to them. So they should be sensitive enough to understand who are the seniors there, and then give it to few seniors and then distribute and then give it to all the devotees who are present in sequence. Now we need not be very extra sensitive also, trying to understand which devotee is senior than which devotee and all that. First few senior devotees whom everyone knows as senior should be given. Now one thing we have to understand is the lamp is not meant to show respect or honor us. But since the lamp is coming to us, it's not that the lamp is coming to respect or honor us. But when the lamp comes to us, we are expected to respect and honor the lamp, the ghee lamp. And how do we do that? So, we make sure that we keep our hand on the fire. So, it's like touching the fire, and then keep it on the head saying, Jai Mahaprasad. So, what are we doing again? We're taking the prasad and we're keeping it on the head, that this is very, very precious. I don't deserve all this. But Lord is so merciful that He is showering His mercy through these different forms. In the form of Charanamrita, in the form of flowers, in the form of the ghee lamp. Oh, I am so fortunate. With that mood, we accept the ghee lamp also. Now, there are other things also like deity clothing. Sometimes when Mahabhishekam is done, or the other clothes which are offered to the Lord, they are distributed to devotees. Now, multiple things can be done with this. We can take it and we can wrap it nicely and keep it in a place where all sacred items are kept. Or the other thing that we can do is take that cloth and then frame it nicely, the glass frame, and then put it on the wall, because that's very precious, very precious. So you put it on the wall. Sometimes devotees ask, can we wear it around our neck or in the hand? Yes, we can do that. So we can put it around the neck, put it around the hand. But then we should make sure that it is respected properly. Now, at times, people ask, so the cloth is very big. Can I cut it and resew it and make a new outfit out of that? So we have to be careful that normally we don't do that. But if it has to be done, it should be used for some devotional purpose. Use it for some other small deities or something like that. There is no question of using that for our own outfit. And also another very important thing, when we get these different Mahaprasad in the form, the clothing of the Lord as Mahaprasad. So it cannot be worn below the waist, above the waist only. There is no question of these things touching the parts below the waist. Therefore, it's very important that we understand the importance of these different paraphernalia which comes as Mahaprasad to bless all of us. So it's our duty with that we receive it with awe and reverence, we maintain it with awe and reverence, and we keep it with awe and reverence. The next thing that we get is the actual Mahaprasad, as people say, that which we can put on our mouth. So sometimes some halwa is given, sometimes some kheer is given. And in ISKCON centers, we have full plate Mahaprasadam. So now one thing we have to understand is, this plate that has come to me, the prasad that has come to me, these food particles have touched the lotus lips of Krishna. So precious, so auspicious. So it's very, very important when we have that prasad in front of us, we immediately offer the Mahaprasadam prayers, Mahaprasade Govinde. And offering the prayers with awe and reverence, we honor the Mahaprasad. We don't eat, we honor. Obviously, eating and honoring, the activity is same, but the mood is different. Eating, we enjoy. Honoring, we respect and we serve. Now, at times it might happen while serving prasad, while receiving prasad, some prasad particles might fall down. Some rice have fallen down or something like that. Doesn't matter how busy people we are. If it has fallen, first we have to pick it up. There is no question of stepping it over. No question of stepping it over. Stepping on it, no, not allowed. After all, it's the Mahaprasad of the Lord. Okay, so what should I do if the grains have fallen down? I pick it up and I should place it and dispose it in some suitable place. That's very, very important. So we have to be very conscious. You have to be very conscious because these different paraphernalias are connected to the Lord and they're very dear to the Lord. So we cannot be ignorant about these things. We have to be very conscious, careful, because we are devotees and we want to advance in Krishna consciousness, and we should respect all these different items which come as prasad to us, which are very dear to Krishna. Krishna has accepted them. Next thing is that Kirtan is something which everyone likes. During Kirtan, the Mridanga player, Kartal player, they play the Kartal, play the Mridanga, harmonium and other instruments. Devotees are dancing, there's a different energy altogether in the entire temple. But then after the Kirtan is over, since everyone is tired, there are great possibilities that we just keep the Kartal somewhere, keep the Mridanga somewhere, harmonium somewhere, and we leave the temple or leave the place. One thing we should understand is all these different instruments are non-different from Balaram, Krishna's brother, Balaram. Therefore, it's very important that we understand that he is a personality and he has come in this particular form to serve his Lord Krishna. And when we are playing the instruments, it's our duty also to keep it properly. Therefore, you will see many devotees, they place the kartal in a casing and they wrap the mridanga also very nicely. There's a mridanga stand where mridanga should be kept, or there should be a stand or a drawer where we can put the kartal and close it. Or at the same time, say we are in a place where we don't have this facility. At least the thing that we should do is we shouldn't be keeping kartal, mridanga, other things on the floor. We keep them on the mat or keep them on the clean table, in a clean place. So this is the way we respect these different instruments. Next thing is about books and beads. Same thing. These books are divine. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all the books given by Srila Prabhupada and the other acharyas, these are divine. The beads are divine. So there is no question of keeping them on the floor. There is no question of that. Therefore, if we really want to keep, then we should keep it on the table, some clean place, some place where the respect is shown to these different divine items. Now, at times it might happen that I might have the bead bag in my hand and book in my hand, and I have entered the temple, now I have to pay obeisances. Now, it will happen that when I am paying obeisance, naturally the bead bag and the book will touch down on the floor. Therefore, first thing that I should do is keep the bead bag or the book or whatever paraphernalia I am holding on a raised platform somewhere, and then I pay my obeisances and then take that item back and start with my work, start with my service. So very important not to touch these divine items on the floor. Now, another very important thing. Say my bead bag is kept on some table there, and one devotee is there in that table, near the table, and I'm here. And then I tell the devotee, Prabhu, can you please give my bead bag? And that Prabhu takes the bead bag, Prabhu, catch! And then he throws. Now, this is not the way we deal with divine items. Just imagine, we have Krishna's Archa Vigraha there, and then, Prabhu, can you give me that Krishna Vigraha of Krishna? Okay, Prabhu, catch the Shaligram. Or catch this bell. So, it's not proper way. It has to be passed, or the person should come and give it to your hand. It has to be passed directly to the hand. Not that it comes via airways and then lands in your hand. And if it doesn't land in the hand and there is landing problem and it goes down and falls on the floor, that will be such a great offense. Such a great offense. Therefore, such things, since we come from a background of cricket and football and other things, so we should be careful that these are not balls which are there around. These are Lord's paraphernalia. And also another very important thing, that these different items like the bead bag, the divine books, tilak, various other paraphernalia, they shouldn't be taken in an unclean place like bathroom. So we should keep it out and then we should enter the bathroom. I'm sure most of us might be seeing senior devotees doing this. So we should hang it somewhere and outside the bathroom, then we enter the bathroom. Yes. Now, it might happen that when I'm walking, say there's some paraphernalia kept, and without my conscious notice, I just touch my feet to that paraphernalia. Say the bead bag is kept down, and I touch my feet to the bead bag. So, firstly, it is not proper. So, immediately I take the bead bag and then I touch it to my head, and begging the forgiveness, that please forgive me. That's the mood. That's the mood. And therefore, there is no question of if something falls down and we see that it is falling down, it's our duty to immediately pick it up, touch it to your head, and then keep it at a proper place. So in this way, these are paraphernalias of the Lord. So we have to treat them very nicely. And especially the devotees who have altar in the house, or the devotees staying in the setup like bass or voice, or the devotees staying in the temple, in the ashram, everywhere it is Lord's paraphernalia. So one has to be very careful about dealing with these paraphernalia. Now, talking about the pictures of the Lord. Sometimes what happens is we go for a yatra or we go for some house program. We take some pictures of the Lord, some nice photo frame, and then we keep there and we offer worship. And now, since after the program gets over, naturally devotees are tired and devotees start having prasadam and all that. Now, at times what will happen is we might neglect the photo and it might be just lying there on the floor or somewhere. It's very important that we respect the Patachitra of the Lord, which is non-different than the Lord Himself. Lord manifests in that form of Patachitra or photo frame just so that He receives our worship. So imagine how much importance should be given, to the frame of the Lord. Very, very important. So we should be very careful. So we should wrap it in a cloth and keep it in a proper place, when the worship is done. Especially when you go for a yatra or some house program or something like that. Another very important thing, there is Harinam Chadar that comes. So, this is like Uttari, and on that there will be Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, since Mahamantra is there on the Uttari, or Chadar that we call it as, or sometimes Radhe Radhe is also written. So, holy name of the Lord. Therefore, one thing that we have to make sure is that it doesn't touch the ground. Therefore, normally senior devotees, they recommend that not to wear Harinam Chadar and do the worship of the Lord. Because while worshipping the Lord, at the end and at the start, we have to pay Dandavat. So that will touch the ground. Therefore, we don't wear Harinam Chadar. Or the Matajis, they wear that Radhe Radhe Chadar or something like that. That shouldn't be worn while paying obeisance and all that. So it's offensive because that's Harinam, the holy name of the Lord, non-different from the Lord. And finally, when we are touching these different paraphernalias, our hand should be clean. So say I touch my feet or I touch the ground, immediately I should wash my hands and then touch the paraphernalia. Therefore, we might have seen the pujaris, when they pay obeisance on the floor, immediately they'll take Achman water in their hand and wipe their hand. So this is what we are supposed to do, because all these different paraphernalias are sacred. So I cannot touch with unclean hands. So I first wipe my hands properly with sacred water and then touch these different paraphernalias. So we have learned all these different ways to deal with the sacred paraphernalia of the Lord. I hope thumb rule is very clear. I have learned all this for what? Pointing fingers at people? Finding faults in who is doing and who is not doing? It's meant for me, for my advancement. Therefore, it's very, very important that we always tell, whenever we are learning Vaishnav Sadachar, we always tell ourselves, this is for me. Okay, if other devotees not doing, that's okay. He and Krishna, that's their relation. So what I have to do is, I have to apply all this in my day-to-day life. One very important paragraph from the Vaishnav Etiquette Manual, which summarizes whatever we discussed till now. Krishna is non-different than his paraphernalia. He is absolute. His paraphernalia and Krishna are non-different. And treating Krishna's paraphernalia badly means to treat Krishna badly. So improperly, when we deal with the paraphernalia of the Lord, we are dealing improperly with the Lord himself. Therefore, true bhakti will not appear in our hearts. Many of the times, we might be practicing from a long time, but still, we are not developing that mood of devotion. That attitude of service might not be coming. We might not be advancing in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because of all these different offenses that we might commit. And also here it is said, we have to be conscious at all times that all these different items are not ordinary items. They're all connected to the Lord. They're not different from the Lord. But they are to be used in Krishna's service and therefore worshipable. So in this way, very consciously, very respectfully, with awe and reverence, we deal with this different paraphernalia, understanding them to be non-different from Krishna. And when our dealings are like this, very proper, naturally we'll receive mercy from the Lord and will advance in Krishna consciousness. I hope we have understood how to handle various sacred items connected to the Lord. Thank you. Hare Krishna.